Every year we set new goals, resolutions, and things we want to achieve, but most of the time we fail them. And well, why is that? Well, you see, people look for excuses when they want to start something new. I'll start tomorrow, I'll start on Monday, I'll start next month, I'll start next year. We just keep putting it off and off, and you, like me, probably feel disheartened when we didn't achieve anything for the year. And so I have created a slow, easy guide and tips for you to set some realistic goals and intentions for 2026. So in one of my videos, I talk about setting intentions, which will be linked somewhere up here for you. And it was setting some goals and some intentions for the rest of 2025. I may not have achieved it, but I am working towards it, and that is one thing that we need to remember. Sometimes things take longer than what we want to, and I think now, especially in society, we just want things instantly, and we forget how things do take time. Like the year, things take seasons, things will go very fast, and some things we just need to pedal back a little bit and take things slow. And that is the same for when it comes to goals and intentions. So what I've done is on Pinterest, you can actually create mood boards now. So for me, what I've done is I've created a mood board for my screensaver, for my phone. And the reason why I've done this is because it's something I'm going to be seeing every day. It's going to be on my phone, and I use my phone a lot. And I like to have sometimes quotations on my phone, sometimes I have images. I think just having this nice aesthetic mood board on your phone is a great way to have something. However, if you are someone who likes to have a physical thing, I would go full out with the whole 80s, 90s, noughties sort of aesthetic where you have yourself a large piece of paper, some card, and you start scrapbooking everything out. You cut out magazines, you cut out photos, print photos off, do large writing, create mind maps, do whatever is best for you. But I recommend having something that is physical to see when you're setting goals and intentions. Okay, now you've created your mood board, but now what? So you have several goals, but now we need to hone in on some goals that you want to achieve. You may have 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 goals that you want to achieve. I think it's best to hone down onto 2 to 4 goals, some realistic ones. Maybe have 1 large goal and 3 smaller goals. That is probably something that is more realistic to focus on. So now we can set our intentions behind them. For example, why do you want to lose 5 kilograms or gain 5 kilograms in weight? Why do you want to pass your driving test? Why do you want to travel or see several countries? You need to answering the why questions. Having those intentions makes the goal more personal. It makes it more realistic. Once you've found out your why, it is now a strong enough mindset for you to achieve your goal. However, we need to develop how we are going to achieve that goal. And I think having something written down is great to have. You've got your visual thing. Now you've got your goals written out as well. But now we need to think of the smaller steps. And when it comes to doing this, we always hear it has to take 1 step at a time. We've got to be taking those baby steps. But listen, we really need to focus on that. You can't expect to walk through the park and just achieve it like that. Life is definitely more like the Hunger Games, to be honest with you, and it's slowly heading towards that way as well. So we need to break these goals down into small steps and to small everyday things that we can achieve easily to work towards our big goal. Think of it as instructions to bake a cake. So the goal is the cake, for example, and to make the goal, well, you need the instructions for it. Now we need the ingredients. The ingredients are things you need to have. You need those ingredients to be able to complete the instructions, which are your steps to achieve your goal. This then gets to the cake, which is the end goal for you. I know it may sound silly using a cake as a metaphor for a goal, but when you think about it and breaking it down like that, it actually becomes more understandable and more easier to think. So by thinking of it easily, and then setting those goals and what I need to achieve those steps to achieve that goal, it becomes much easier. I wanted to read more and to de-digitalize my life a little bit, and I want to get back into reading and enjoying it. So last year, 2025, I set the goal to read 10 books, and I have achieved this goal. But how did I achieve it to read more / consume more than 10 books? Firstly, I analysed my day. What was I doing every hour of the day? And I think when you break it down to what you're doing each day, you start to see how your daily routine is. Next, I selected when it would be best for me to read. I had identified that I could read after the gym and before doing my food shopping if I needed to. Now, do you think I read a book each time I picked it up? Not really, no. I read as many pages of a book as I could mentally do. So for me, some books took longer to read than others, and that is due to my interest in the book. So for example, reading Atomic Habits took longer than reading, let's say, compared to A Portrayal of Storms, where I really enjoyed the book. And obviously one is fiction, one is non-fiction. It just depends on the book, and I think for something like this, it does take time, and I didn't really mind that because for me, I was still working towards my goal, and my goal was to read 10 books this year, and I had achieved reading 10 books in 2025. From doing this, I've achieved my goal, and looking back at it, I am quite proud of it, to be honest. And maybe a small goal, but it has helped me just focus on those few minutes in my life where I'm not looking on social media, I'm not surrounded by people, I'm just in my zone, in my own comfort, and reading with intent and just having that solitary time that I needed. Now, you may be thinking, well, what was the other method? How did you achieve to consume, that's the keyword there, consume 10 books? Well, I used audiobooks. Now, I know it is not reading because you aren't physically reading a book, but it does count as you consuming the information in a different way. And to me, it is another way to help my goal. And so by having these different mediums of books, whether it is listening, physically reading, whether it is just words on a page, whether it's a comic book or a manga book, these are still things that I think are vital. We consume them, and I do explain more about why men particularly need to get back into reading in this video, where I do talk about how different books do help people in different ways. And so for me, physically reading and listening to audiobooks, they both help, and I think that is something I would recommend to you if you are an avid reader or wanting to begin to read. So in summary, these are the things that I'm going to be using in 2026 that are going to help me. The first is the Pinterest board. Having something physical on my phone and seeing every day will hopefully inspire me to carry on working towards what I want to achieve in 2026. And with Millernote, I am going to thicken up the mood board, if you like, having better detailed instructions / steps of how I want to achieve each goal, and also having some sort of monthly tracker as well, which also includes in these diaries. So in each diary at the beginning, it does have a yearly version and yearly goals, and breaking it down to month by month, it will help me to break down those big goals into small goals to achieve each month, which then hopefully I'll achieve by the end of the year. So by setting up something that is aesthetically pleasing to keep as a reminder, and having somewhere physical, whether it's a journal or using Millernote, you have those steps ready for you to be able to just tick off and working towards your goals, your aspirations, your intentions for 2026. And another last few minute tips, I recommend when we're entering 2026 to take things slow. We are still in winter right now, and with winter, we just need to be a little bit laid back, a little bit more thinking of what we want to do for the new year, and to also think the year as in seasons rather than beginning of January. And so for me, in January and February, I'll be working on small things to then hopefully help me implement into spring. There are going to be days where you feel sluggish, and I think by having your mood board, your small little goals in your notebook, your journal, or Millernote, just as a reminder to think, oh, you might be feeling great, but I do need a break, and tomorrow we will work on again. And as long as you have that mindset of we'll be working on again and not letting it go back, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it Monday, I'll do it next month. As long as you keep focusing on those small little steps and building those atomic habits, so layer stacking your habits, for example, like me, gym, reading, food shopping, home. By doing that, it will be much easier to achieve your goals and your intentions for 2026. So if you are new here, hello, I am Ashley. I am a photographer, a content creator, someone who works for part-time jobs and has plenty of hobbies to share on YouTube. And if you fancy to stick around, please click the subscribe button as it will help me. And again, thank you for watching this video and I shall see you in the next one.